Creations, and I'm back with a new video. This is my June favorites. Um, so let's just get right into it. I was considering not doing this video, which is why it's kind of late this month, but partially because I could not remember what I wanted to talk about, and yeah, so much time had passed, and what I had forgotten to do, I usually keep a running list while the month is going of the things that I'm really using a lot or looking at a lot, but I forgot to last month, and yeah, but recently some stuff came back to me, so I was like, let's do this. So to start off, there was an event, a pop-up, once-in-a-lifetime kind of event thrown by Coach, the brand. I'm not a high fashion name brand type of person, so yes, I've heard of Coach. It's the C, and the name Coach. It's, to be perfectly honest, it's more straight-laced, waspy fashion bags and that kind of thing. That's not really my deal, so whatever. But at the time, I did not know this event was connected to Coach. But anyway, so I heard about it through someone I've actually mentioned in a previous favorites video, the Hood Witch. Now, she is located in Seattle, I believe. Anyway, the West Coast. And she posted that she would be in New York City specifically for this event doing sound baths. And the event was called Life Coach, or Life Coach New York City. This is like a card I got, which I'll explain in a minute. But basically what it was like a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, if I remember correctly, or, oh no, it was a whole week. Anyway, I went one day. I went the day that the Hood Witch was there. And pretty much the tagline was, hello, your life is calling, or your future is calling, are you going to pick up? And it was a very interactive event. It was free. You walk in, and there was this check-in station set up with old TVs, the old tube TVs, and it was very interesting. Then the next room you walk into, when you check in, they give you a little bag with coins, and you use that in certain installations to purchase things. And so the next room, an actual room, was set up like a old-fashioned or a current subway station, New York City subway station. If you've been in one, you've seen it. But it was all white, or at least it started out all white. So I didn't go on the first day. I think I went, it was like the second day that night. So anyway, I went, and the walls were filled with graffiti already, and that was the point. You were supposed to make your mark on this room, and I'm showing pictures of the rooms as I talk about them. And you go to the station booth and trade in a coin to get markers, and you make your mark on the room, and it was very interesting. The next room was set up. And this was a huge deal for me. The transition from room to room was very transformative, psychedelic. I don't know how to put this. There was lots of streamers. They were like small hallways. They were definitely small hallways, but you could not see what was coming out on the other side. It was pitch black. There were all of these streamers, and I think in one case beads, another case leaves, probably fake leaves, but garlands of fake leaves and that kind of thing. And so there was this sense of you going from one part of your life to another, or one transitioning from one you to another kind of thing. I don't know. Huge transition. It was very sensual. Like, you can feel everything, as you went through all of the streamers and the garlands and everything, like, just dragging on you. And you just never knew when it was going to end because it was so dark in those small hallways. And I think for me, that was probably the most impactful experience, except for the end. Uh, so yeah, next room is set up like Coney Island. There are games, and like that strength game where you hit the mallet on the weight and it goes up. So that was interesting. There was like a spinning dart games, and I don't know the names of these games. I just know that they are at every carnival I've ever been to, and they are fixtures at Coney Island. So what made this Coney Island was the look and the feel. I don't know how to describe Coney Island to you to make it different from any street fair or carnival you've ever been to, but other than there was also kind of a beach feel. They had pieces of boardwalk for us to walk around on in the room, and kind of like it, and I think sand in places because you could kind of smell the sea. But yeah, definitely a carny feel. Like, everything was kind of old and a little dingy. And of course, a Coney Island fixture, the Zoltaire booth, which I did not get to use because there was quite a line and I wanted to see what else was there. What I liked, they had cotton candy, which I did not partake of because I was worried about being all hopped up on sugar. I went around 9 p.m. at night, so there's that. The other thing was there was a booth where you can write on a postcard and they would mail it to you. Now, the day I went was around the new moon. So, June 9th, 10th, 11th. No, I think more like the 13th, I think, probably, is what the day I went. Because I don't think it started until the 12th. So anyway, I went, and it was around the new moon in June that month, and I wrote a postcard to myself and gave it to them at the end so they could mail it to me. And I got the postcard on the July new moon, this past new moon, and it was amazing. I basically told myself to, look back at the previous month, acknowledge the great things that I did, that I started, acknowledge the wins, celebrate them, and I needed that. Like, that literally, when I got the card in the mail, I was like, what is this? And then I turned it over and I realized this is my handwriting. Oh crap, this is from the life coach event. I was flabbergasted, actually, because that was something I needed to hear. Also, just before the life coach event, I had come across this blog post by another witch on the internet, and she had talked about how she was influenced by someone else, but how she wrote letters to herself every month, and she opened them during the new moons or the full moons, I don't know when. She wrote letters, she pulled cards and made copies of them, and she basically created this entire little care package for herself to get every month, and worked with that. When she pulled out an envelope. Now, she didn't literally mail them to herself, but she did pull out an envelope every month during that particular moon phase. and I was intrigued by the idea. And then I went to this life coach event, and here it was. Yeah, we'll mail you, write the note on the postcard, and we'll mail it to you in a month, and you'll get it in 30 days. So, like, advice to future you, um, connect with your future self, which I really was impressed by. And now that I've received the postcard, I really would like to do more of that. Um, the idea of being more actively speaking to my future self um, is something I can definitely see as beneficial to me. So there's that. Now, going through to one last room. The thing is, going to this day, I had no idea what I was going to experience at all, except for the reason I signed up. The Hood Witch was going to be there during a certain time period giving sound baths, which I've never done before, but I always wanted to try. And I wanted to meet her because she's always usually on the West Coast. So I was like, let's go. Unfortunately, I missed her. I was not able to get a sound bath, but I really appreciated the experience of the life coach event. The last room was this kind of sacred garden slash grove type place. Grasses and greenery and leaves and trees everywhere. There were tarot or oracle readers, all kinds of other spiritual people or new age readers and psychics and that kind of thing. And they all had these little kind of like straw huts that they would do their one-on-one readings in. And that room was really an impressive installation. Again, a whole nother world. And this one was all about the mental and the spiritual. And I really liked it. Honestly, the entire event I enjoyed. I had to look it up. ArchitecturalDigest.com did an interview with the artist who did the installation. And Costin, I'm just trying to pull up their name really quick. If this website will let me. Simon Costin. And the last room, each room was kind of like this had this connection with New York City. So like I said, the first room was like this New York City subway station, and the second room was like Coney Island. Now the third room, it was this kind of enchanted forest, so you completely removed, I guess, from the New York City atmosphere, and it's all about self-reflection and looking inward with various fortune tellers and readers and psychics. So the very last thing we did after, if you did a reading or whatever, was you handed in your postcard, if you had one, to the guys who were manning the giant facsimile of a post office box, and you told them your sun sign, and they gave you one of these. And inside this little thing was a reading from the Astro Twins. And this was my card. I am a Scorpio, and it was very interesting. I've said this before, I'm like a baby astrologer. Still a newbie, still learning the basics. But I've been learning the basics for about 10 years now. So, what was in this little packet wasn't a surprise to me, but I was appreciative of how accurate it was. So yeah, that was just an immersive experiential experience, and I'm grateful that Coach put it together. There was no handbags. There were I did not notice any like Coach signs anywhere, except for, of course, at the end they have this little business card coupon thing where you can get like a complimentary monogrammed hang tag. Not something I want. So at the regular flagship store for Coach. But other than that, nothing else, and I really enjoyed the experience so much that I talked for 15 minutes about it. So, that was literally at the beginning of the month for me, um, at least to me, I should say. So, there was that. Um, right after that, I went to New Jersey. I hopped on a bus, New Jersey Transit bus, and went to New Jersey. Twice in June, I went to New Jersey to house and dog sit for a friend. And this is a friend who lives on the side of a mountain with a gorgeous backyard that they take great care of, and some very happy, friendly dogs. Um, though some are young and overly rambunctious, but getting away from the city, the hustle and bustle, is important. Um, just those, it's calming. I love my city. I don't know if I'll ever be able to live anywhere else, even another city, but I do appreciate being able to get out of that city, out of New York City, away from the insanity, away from all the people and the stress and the noise, and being able to enjoy peace and quiet and nature and kind of simple life. Maybe not that simple, not Paris Hilton, the simple life. Um, I wasn't on a farm, and I was near civilization. There are neighbors and everything, but it's quiet. I had a bear scare one of those weekends. The bear came right up to the house. Um, so yeah, but I also, had tons of woodpeckers and blue jays and other birds I don't get to see so close up, just hanging out in her backyard. The waterfall that they created out of a pit and some hoses, and you know, uh, hanging with the dogs and the butterflies and the birds and the bees and the trees. um, you paint with all the colors of the wind. So yeah, and it was just me. I was the only person, and it was refreshing and restorative. So that was another big thing. I am grateful for having friends that live outside of New York City that I can visit when I have the ability, or if they have the need for me, because every visit is always restoring one. Now this is a little bit different. You can't just do this to replicate it, but I can't not say it. My baby brother had his first child in June, in early June. She's the gorgeous Coco Lowe, and that's not her full name, but that's neither here nor there. You don't need to know that. Um, it was uh, not my child, so I was gonna say it was a pretty simple, calming experience, but I did not literally have the baby, so I'm just gonna keep my thoughts to myself about that because mom might disagree. But yeah, he is the first one of me and my brothers. I have two younger brothers, the first of the three siblings to have a child. So I am now officially an aunt. She's gorgeous and happy and healthy, and a little over a month old now that this video is coming out. Uh, and it was a joyous occasion, welcoming in that new life that's so close to us. Um, I'm not even surprised the baby of the family is the one to first have a baby himself, but and that's no shade on him. But I don't know, I always just felt he probably would. And just thinking about her makes me happy. She smells so good like baby. And she's adorable and, like I said, happy, healthy, and just perfectly baby. Alright, it just fills me with a glow, even though, and I've been getting lots of congratulations even though I did nothing. So yeah, next. Partially because it's summertime, but also partially because there's a baby in the family. We've been having lots of family visits, so everybody can see the baby, and yeah. I have a pretty good immediate family, those that we are close to, even extended. We're pretty good for the most part. There's no perfect family out there, but I know that I think I have it better than most of my close friends, maybe? I don't know. No, I take that back. That's not true. But as my generation has been getting older, being together, having family gatherings has gotten more difficult. As we spread out and move on with our lives and go on our different paths. We're not kids anymore, so it's not like our parents, take us all together because they have to, like when they feel like visiting family. We can say no, which we've been doing since we were teenagers, when we feel like it, not all the time. But yeah, the baby kind of brought us back together, and one of the goals I had this year was to communicate more with my family, to keep them up to date on what I'm doing, not just what I'm doing, but how I'm feeling, and my thoughts, and to get the same from them. So I am grateful that has been happening this month. It's taken 6 months for me to start working on that goal, and part of that is because Coco was born, but it is what it is. Now, next. Alright, before I start, I have to put this on because it's appropriate. This is a crown that I have. This is the only one that looks crown-ish, more traditional crown, I should say. I usually use this for certain rituals. I have more flower crowns and a few headband type crowns. This is the only metal one I have. Anyway, I put this on because I discovered Crown Chicks, or I should say Crown Chicks, I think, actually got started. No. I think Crown Chicks started in May. Crown Chicks was created by this woman who is very interested in writing and journalism, and her idea was about empowering women and kind of giving advice, and she admits to having a big thing about crowns. And I came across this on a news broadcast, one of those like positive news things, which is I'm always thankful for. And she said like a crown is a source of power and confidence, and she thinks that women should be queens worthy of respect, because we are, and you don't need an official title to be a crown, to wear a crown. And I like the blog post that you post. It's very positive, very feminine, very crownish. Um, Crowns, come in all shapes, sizes, and materials. I myself like crowns a lot. I don't have a ton of them. I do like making particularly flower crowns. I like the idea of flowers in the hair. Um, and just the idea of crowns being a source and a symbol of strength and authority and honor and victory, and that is what Crown Chicks is all about. So do check out Crown Chicks on their website. Um, right now they have a theme of relationships going on, so that's what the various blog posts are about. Let's see, what else? Last month there in May there was a theme of crowns. So it's just a great site. Check it out. Now, next, sorry, I'm just checking my list again. Okay. I don't know how I haven't mentioned this before. Probably because I have not been focusing on it. I Get Messy Art Journal it's a community to help people create art journals. Doing art journaling for people who are creative, who want to learn, connect, and create. I'm reading the website. So they give out prompts. You can join the community if you pay a certain amount. There's like a monthly payment. They have seasons, and I don't remember what season they're in right now, but you can join per season, which I think is 2 to 3 months, and pay for that, or like a lifetime membership and that kind of thing. And there's also like free stuff. They have some free tutorials on Instagram and on YouTube for longer stuff. And they're just so very supportive from all over the world. And if you are creative and would like to get into art journaling, or you're into art journaling and want to connect with other people who do so, it's great. There's posts, prompts, interviews, chats, and they try to do, and this is completely free for anyone to join, every Saturday, like this live art journaling connection thing. So you just like click on the Zoom, and you have like this video chat while everybody's doing whatever their art thing is that day, and it's so much fun and it's nice. I like the prompts. You can go back if you join and look at old ones. You can join whenever you feel like it. Art journaling is an outlet for me, but it's also calming. I tend to do it during my evening routine because it's kind of meditative. So like I'll do that shortly before I go to bed, because now it's like I'm bringing down my energy, but I'm also concentrating. So that's like the meditative aspect, and I enjoy it. And having the Get Messy Art Journal community be there is something I'm very grateful for. And so yeah, that is my June 2018 favorites. Let me know if any of this resonates for you. Definitely let me know if you try any of it. I know the life coach thing is not available anymore. I know you can't just go out and have a baby, or have a family member have a baby, but maybe you've had similar experiences, or you've tried any of the other stuff I mentioned, like the Get Messy Art Journal. As always, there'll be a link to a blog post where you can find several links, because there's always too many for me, I think, to put in the description. to all of the stuff I've mentioned here today. And I will see you guys next month for the next July favorites video, which I'm already keeping a list of. And I'll see you soon for my next One Book July update. So, bye!